What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? Now we shift gears from one of the most exciting units to probably one of the least one of the least exciting banners of this entire cycle. Reno's Lost Chapter, and Rosa is the featured unit, getting an LD and a rework. Rosa's rework, it pretty much just makes her a better healer once again. Her skill 1 now has more hits and splash damage, and it heals the party. And skill 2 also heals the party and doesn't add to the turn count. Skill 1 also gets a battery beforehand, so you're not relying purely on brave hits, which is nice. LD attack is AoE, brave plus HPs, and the batteries the party based on damage afterwards. Rosa now gets a buff that has the weirdest condition in the world. It scales, it has stacks based on how many buffs are in the party, and Rosa only provides one framed buff to the party. So she can't even hit max stacks herself. But to hit max stacks, the entire party needs to have at least 10 buffs active. And when there's 10 buffs active, you get brave damage up, HP damage up, and both overflows up. For some reason, they couldn't go all out on Rosa's buffs, so she only has 25% brave damage up and 15% HP damage up. 15% being the weirdest number of all time. They couldn't give her 20, huh? Nearly everyone else gets 20, or maybe they'll get a flat 10, but they just kind of went halfway with Rosa, and that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, come on, Core just came out and he's got 10%, and he's without doing anything. But anyways, this is a really weird buff. The best part about it though is she provides party HP damage refund, kind of like what Bart's BT does. So if you do HP damage, you get brave back, and this is for the entire party. And this is once their turn ends, so kind of like Camlinot's LD call as well, but for the entire party. That's really it. I mean, Rosa used to be the premium, I should say, attack aura bot, but now her brave damage modifiers aren't quite there, so it looks like they leaned into her battery and the refund thing, and she's got encouragement armor, so it kind of helps out there. But I mean, I don't know exactly what they were going for, but let me go into that a little bit later. Her high armor is encouragement. She's got double C slots, so the Paladin Cecil sphere change is actually coming next month, so that should be about 2 weeks from when this banner is out with Yuna, so she'll actually be able to start taking advantage of it. So that's pretty decent. As for the actual split though, she leans completely in the HP damage direction, which I think makes sense because she's got a ton of overflows and she's got 15% HP damage up. So the party could feasibly start hitting those caps. So not a horrible idea, I guess, if you're using Rosa, all three of you. Her base call gives the party re-raise, so I guess if you think you're gonna die, you could pop this. But who's trying to die out here? And it's the decent stat up on the call effect where I brave, M brave, and attack for the party. And then her LD call, ooh. they disrespected her here too. It's got slight overflows up and party brave damage 10 and party HP damage up 5. How impactful. Jesus Christ, why couldn't they just give her 10 here? Oh my god. Yikes, not even the party refund effect. What did Rosa do to them? Reno only got LD boards and he didn't get much either, to be honest. He got a new framed buff, and it applies whenever Reno inflicts a debuff, which is always unless he's hitting skill 2. So you're not gonna have any issues keeping this up. But all it does is it gives him some party auras for some reason, attack and embrave up small, and it gives Reno weakness damage up by 30%, so he's hitting harder, and he extends his own debuffs now, so by 2 turns, that's okay. He's also got HP damage up when he's attacking a debuff target, but Reno's kit is so hilariously outdated. He barely got anything, let's be real about it right now. And it's not really enough to bring up the par. He is, at the time I'm recording this, he is planned to get a rework in JP. I think it's alongside Anna Crow's event, so I don't know what that'll be at this time, but it's probably going to fix him up real good, better than what he's getting now. His high armor split leans in the HP damage direction, and this makes sense because he got the HP damage up and a bunch of AoEs, so they want him hitting high AoEs, but And man, unless you really love Reno, I don't see any reason to blue him at this moment. He did not get really anything sufficient to bring him up to par at this moment, in my opinion. However, the best thing about Reno now is that we have access to Pyramid as an LD call, and this is very handy because this can save your life in certain situations. The applications are endless, and it's always a good button to have potentially. And you can also reapply his starting debuffs, so that's decent, I guess. But yeah, Reno's pretty much a call at this point. Sorry to say, bud, you were good on release, but now, yeah. What are my thoughts overall? Well, Rosa, I guess HP damage refund for the whole party is okay. I don't see quite why it's needed. You could achieve something similar with attacks to just battery the party and refund the call, like Bart's. It's like everything Rosa provides at this point, like auras, battery, heals. Like she doesn't really do any of it super well. I mean, she has the re-raise thing, and you don't get penalized for re-raising anymore, really. So if you're trying to tank through fights just because you keep dying, I guess that's a thing. Aside from Lufenia orbs, if you're dying 2 Lufenia orbs, then I mean, I guess you're screwed right now. But outside of that, I don't think she really does anything well at all, and I don't see why anyone would really want her right now, especially because she has a much better future down the road. And Reno's not too shabby himself either. Like this is not a great banner. I'm gonna be real with you. And not to mention the fight doesn't even have a Lufenia orb. Now it is toxic, and without Tidus and without they didn't give it an orb, but they might expect you to re-raise through it, but it's still not pretty at the end. But this whole event banner, not the greatest showing of units in my opinion. I don't think either of these two are really worth going for at this point. Not right now. Not with some crazy stuff coming up. Honestly, if I wanted a new player to get a healer or something, I think I'd rather say go for like Aerith or Arciela on Tidus's banner rather than go for Rosa here. That's how probably against this banner I am personally. I mean, yeah, not very positive things. I think these two are both fairly underwhelming, and Rosa can do some battery memes, but I mean, so if it's not obvious, I'm not pulling on this banner. No way, Jose. Not interested at all. Reno, like I mentioned earlier, he is getting a rerun with his C90 on Enacro. We don't know what his rework's gonna look like, what he's gonna be like, but it's probably gonna be some good stuff. So unless you really love Reno, I'd probably just wait it out personally. And as for Rosa, she comes back alongside Gilgamesh's LD and Burst, and she gets a lot better. She finally gets more HP damage up and Brave damage up. Her skills do more damage, and she got a way better upgrade overall than the mess that she got right here. So yeah, this banner honestly isn't really appealing in any way, and the fact that there's no orb doesn't do a good job to sell Rosa in the first place. So yeah, I'm skipping. Not interested in the slightest. Now for the fight, I keep mentioning that there's no orb, but that doesn't mean the fight is a steamroll either, because if you remember, the Reno event on release was hilariously toxic, and while they don't dispel you anymore, they do have the whole mist thing where you need to let them get a turn while they're misted. Although we have so many powerful modifiers now, it's actually possible to just punch right through it and not care about the mist, which is actually hilarious. The really tricky part though is that when they do, they're like, it's either the recast or the mist attack. It can double tap you and kill you instantly. So while there's no orb, this fight is actually very deadly if they get turns or they get unplanned turns or stuff like that. So it's like without Tidus, and especially here's the important thing. Again, the turns are tight. So Tidus runs and non-Tidus runs are honestly night and day here. Once again, if you bring the damage, you're good, but don't underestimate this fight, and letting them get a turn at the wrong time will get you just absolutely destroyed. I tried it firsthand, it wasn't pretty. Setzer and Waka will be synergy here as they're the next banner, so if you're having trouble with this fight for some reason, you could freeze it with Setzer when he comes back, but yeah, there really isn't much to say about it. It's just kill them and don't die. You could pretty much no-turn them and get around the conditions. There really is nothing to say about this fight. In JP, who did I run? Let me see. Oh, there you go. I ran Setzer, Sabin, and Tidus. Two synergy, broken character in Setzer, and Sabin for the delays. And the turns were still tight on that. So yeah, again, those people who don't like tight turns, beware, because that fight will sneak up on you. But other than that, if you want to dust it with Tidus, you won't see it. And then, what's it called? Setzer will come later and make it even easier. But otherwise, you know, do what you can, but don't get blown up, all right? And that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best, generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.